Hi everybody, here we are with another lesson, a mandolin lesson for the classical mandolin. We pick some Bach's notes and with this Partita number 2 in D minor is a gorgeous piece, is not too difficult, so, and we can play also at a slower tempo, so it's a beautiful, wonderful exercise for our instrument. As you know, it is composed for the violin that has the same fingerboard, the same fingering for us. Okay, so yeah, let's take your score. You can get it from my website, carloaonzo.com. Download it. You can find there all my fingering or my fingering suggestions. And let's start. So Allemanda is a dance that can be not too fast and can be also, since this dance, this suite is intended not for dancing but as a concert piece, it can be played a little freely, so we don't need to stay very straight with the rhythm. But of course, first of all, we have to learn it with the proper timing and groove. Yes, because also Bach music has the proper groove. Okay, so what is very important is that we start with the 16 notes, and I recommend to play in this piece all the 16s with down-up strokes, and never interrupt the motion of the right hand. Okay, so you will have always a reference point that is the downstroke on the downbeat. So each 4 16ths you have the downstroke on the first of the 4 16ths. Right? This is very important in order to have a good timing, sense of tempo of the timing. Okay. So the first note we see is the last note of an imaginary bar that is before the beat, and so it takes the upstroke, and then we have a double stop with the same note that Bach wants, and this note is an 8 with a dot, meaning that the value is 3 strokes for us. Okay, so we might also think or actually do the motion of the right hand, as you can see, in 1 and 2, and then you start again with the upstroke on the next note, that is the E. 1 and 2. And let's take a look to the fingering here. So this is 4 finger for the D, normal thing. And now here the C sharp, since we arrive from the B flat with the first finger, we take C sharp with the pinky, with the 4th finger. And this E, I recommend to play it as a closed position. It is much more elegant than an open string. Listen, that is a continuous ring. We should stop it. Instead with the 4 fingers, much more elegant this sound, this timbre. Okay, the capo. In the triplets also we keep the down-up motion of the right hand for each single note. So you will start with the downstroke, the first triplet, and the second triplet with the upstroke, to arrive on the beat, at the beginning of the beat with a downstroke. Now here we change position. We are bar number 3. I recommend you to go in second position. So the triplets, the 2 triplets are made on the same register, same timbre. And you have a room with the open D to change position. This is a very common place where to change position, when you play an open string and then shift to the new position. And now we stay first position. Oh, okay, this is a very interesting thing. I'm talking about bar number 6. We have different voices going at the same time. So you might want to keep down this note, and now this note, and now this. Understand? So the C sharp, A, G sharp, E. Okay? So you can keep it a little longer, those notes that are the ending of the higher or the lower voice. You can keep on the next phrase. Okay? Again, in this case, G sharp. Yeah, it's a little difficult to stay down, but the effect is very nice. Now we have some variation, rhythmic variation, and let's see the right hand how it goes. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay, so we repeat the downstroke. And again. Still first position. And now let's go on second position. And now we start the progression. That means that we have to play the same phrase many times over and over, but in different positions. So we start with the first finger on C, and we use this fingering. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. And we can do the same, you know, with the right notes, but the same fingering. Now we use the open string, and now again our progression, again second position. So this progression, it will be very fluent. And now change of key. You can play also again with the down up. Now change. We are now in E major. This is a second position. Okay. So let's do it again from bar 13. Shift to the second position and then third. Okay, first finger on G as a shift to second position. So we are talking about bar number 14. And now third position. are half of 14. So we proceed one more fret ahead. We are still in the third position. We are ready with this arpeggio. This is the first inversion of the E major with the 7. So E7. And we can play the whole episode on third position. And now shift to second position. And we have all the notes under our finger, very, very big control. And then first position for the final phrase. It is almost a cadenza. And ready for the coda. Beautiful, beautiful, very nice. Let's start the second part. We have the same kind of beginning with two notes, two same notes on two different strings. Make sure that you play with the proper stroking, so up, down, and we play everything in a first position. Now we have this arpeggio, and I suggest you to play C and G with the same third finger. Okay? Again, we have to start this progression. Is the same fingering that we used before. Same stroking, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. First finger, so you play this with the same fingering. Can go on. It's very easy here. Again, this arpeggio. Let's take bar 24. Same arpeggio, so I recommend to play the same note. The two different notes with the same finger. And here again, A and E. Fourth finger here. This fingering is very important. Second finger on G and C sharp with the third finger. So we don't have to jump with the same finger from two different strings and two different frets. Again, same fret, same finger, two different notes. Same trick with the second finger on the C, but the third plays F sharp. Or also open, but elegant, and ending. And stop. Very good.